welcome to another stream. And today we'll be watching Everest Productions' first part of his The Force Unleashed 3 fan project. So, yeah, it's quite exciting. Oh.
Connection issue looks like. Hey, there's two of me.
All right. How you doing, Nazo?
Good. Just grabbed some lunch.
Awesome. Have you watched this yet, or?
I have not. It's popped
okay.
up in my feed. I just haven't gotten around to looking at it. I didn't even realize he was doing an animation for Force Unleashed 3.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So, yeah. Have you read or played the video games or books of the first two?
The books, comics, and video games. Yes, I've gone through them.
Oh, okay. So you're
so I'm at least an expert in this department.
Okay. Have you looked into what the Force Unleashed 3 was going to be?
No, I have not. Other than it was going to be like a fighting game with like a 2-player game with you and Darth Vader. Yeah.
So the kid that moved into town that started all this, he's doing it because his dad's forcing him to.
Oh.
This is his dad.
Sorry, my brother's watching an episode of South Park.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Well, I think we'll get started on it.
All right.
All right.
The galaxy stood at a crossroads. Darth Vader, the enforcer of the Empire's iron grip, had been captured by the Rebel Alliance. With the Dark Lord in chains, the rebellion has edged closer to victory over the Empire. Meanwhile, Starkiller, once Vader's secret apprentice, has sought to leave behind his violent past. Together with Juno Eclipse, he has begun a new life, hoping for peace amidst the turmoil of war. But in the shadows, a sinister presence stirs. The Dark Apprentice, a twisted clone born of Starkiller's power, remained loyal to Vader's dark legacy. As the galaxy teeters on the brink, Starkiller faces his greatest trial yet, a final confrontation with the dark reflection of himself.
Lord Vader, you are here to face justice for the countless atrocities committed under your command and the tyranny of the Galactic Empire. The galaxy bleeds from the Empire's relentless thirst for domination. Kashyyyk, Ryloth, Mon Cala, planets torn apart by your Imperial forces. You've spread fear, death, and destruction to every corner of the galaxy, a hand of death across the stars. But today, you will answer for the lives you've shattered, for the millions you've oppressed and enslaved. Well, do you have nothing to say?
There is nothing to say.
Then you confess these atrocities.
No. I acknowledge only the truth. A galaxy drowning in chaos, overrun by a weak, corrupt republic. I brought order. I brought control to a galaxy too pathetic to save itself.
Control? You invaded peaceful planets and enslaved entire species.
I exist only as an answer to your failures, your rebellion, your insurrection invites destruction. I responded in kind.
Enough! You think yourself above judgment, but your reign of terror ends here. We, the people, will see to it.
You will stand amidst the ruins of your failure and beg for forgiveness from the Emperor.
Enough! You will face your crimes, and I hope in the force that you rot in the black void of hell.
I look forward to it.
No remorse from a cold machine.
Darth Vader had meant every word he said, and why would he confess? He took a twisted pleasure in toying with the rebels. His imprisonment was a game, a temporary inconvenience at best. To Ram Kota, there was no sincerity in Vader's voice, no hint of remorse. For all they knew, they were playing straight into his hands.
How about yours?
Only time would tell, as the fleet pressed on toward Dantooine. Meanwhile, in the hangar of the flagship, Starkiller Galen Merrick was focused on upgrading the Rogue Shadow. But his hands moved on instinct. His mind remained elsewhere, haunted by Vader's final words about Juno. They echoed in his thoughts each night since their last confrontation.
As long as she lives, I will always control you.
Nearby, Juno watched him, worry etched across her face.
Galen?
You looked after the ship.
It was mostly proxy. I was commanding a fleet.
I should be saluting you then.
Juno stepped inside and set a tray of food on the table before sitting down. Starkiller glanced up at her.
Oh, so now I get your attention?
I'm sorry. This is good. I'm just not used to it. Keeping busy helps.
Juno's smile faded slightly as she noticed his hands trembling. Her expression softened.
I know. Hurry it up, Starman. My Jedi. You need to clean up before you come in. He'll be here soon. And your hands are filthy.
Starkiller allowed himself a faint smile as he worked. Meanwhile, thousands of light years away aboard an Imperial fleet, two shadowy figures had stood among a squad of stormtroopers clad in black insignia armor. At their feet lay the body of one of Garm's lieutenants, freshly slain. A robed figure stepped back, lowering his weapon as the man collapsed, his final breath spent in a forced confession.
Your resistance to the Empire will be noted.
Beside him had stood Boba Fett, the infamous bounty hunter. Hired by Vader before his capture, Fett had been tasked with assisting this mysterious figure in whatever he required. The arrangement had grated on him. He had been the one who had tracked down the rebel commander, and now he was being used to hunt Vader himself. It made little sense to him, but Vader's credits had been solid, and in Fett's line of work, that was all that had mattered.
Locate Vader. Do not fail me.
You're running out of favors.
Back aboard the main fleet, Starkiller sat quietly on the medical frigate, his gaze fixed on a nearby monitor as Proxy ran diagnostics on the Rogue Shadow's upgraded engines. He should have been in the cockpit himself, but exhaustion weighed heavy on him. He hadn't slept in days, and it was finally starting to show. Suddenly, footsteps approached, and General Kota popped through the door.
Old man, It's good to see you.
How are you enjoying the quiet life?
Well, it's good. Juno's keeping me busy.
I can tell when you're lying, boy. You can't fool me.
No. Everything isn't fine. It's quiet here. Too quiet. I've got Juno. We have a life now. A real one, but it feels wrong. I want to rest. I should rest, but something's missing. Like part of me is still out there. Lost. I don't know how to explain it.
My boy, you have to let yourself enjoy it. We caught Vader. He's going to stand trial. This is the first step to taking Palpatine down. You won.
Now I can tell when you're lying. Where is he?
Kota hesitated, a long beat passing before he answered.
It's okay, son. Your fight's over. You've done enough.
Where is he, Rom? I need to see him. I feel like something's wrong.
There's nothing left for you to do.
No, something's wrong. And I think he's the only one who knows what it is.
An echo in the Force gnawed at Starkiller's mind, a persistent tick, like a whisper clawing at the edges of his thoughts. It wasn't just a voice. It was a hunger, growing more ravenous by the hour. Something was wrong. Something was coming. And only one man might have the answers. Starkiller dreaded the thought of speaking with him. The fleet exited hyperspace. A Nebulon B medical frigate, the Holtz, comes into view, flanked by dreadnoughts and a spread of escort vessels, all forming a protective ring around it. With a sudden burst of light, the rogue shadow tears out of hyperspace on its trail.
Clearance code accepted. Continue your approach, Captain Eclipse. And Garm sends his greetings.
Continuing approach. Tell him thanks. So, you keep moving and jumping at random intervals.
Precautionary measures. My idea. Mon Mothma thinks we're safe just staying hidden. Thank the Force, this is Iblis's fleet. He agrees with me. They keep forgetting what they've got locked in the belly of that ship.
Juno paused, her expression darkening as she glanced towards Starkiller, who now looked visibly pale and uneasy.
I don't forget. Are you sure you want to do this?
I have to. But you don't.
After everything? I'm not letting you out of my sight, Starman.
Starman.
The rogue shadow drifted gracefully into a landing position aboard the medical frigate. Waiting on the deck stood Garm Bel Iblis, arms crossed, his expression grim. He was flanked by a squad of General Kota's old militia, weathered soldiers, loyal and sharp-eyed. As the ramp lowered, Kota led the way, followed closely by Juno and Starkiller.
Wonderful to see you, General, and to receive guests of such notoriety aboard my ship on this clearly clandestine mission.
Good to see you too, Garm.
Garm's eyes lingered on Starkiller with suspicion before shifting to Juno.
What exactly is the nature of this disruption?
We need to see him. See Vader.
You understand this ship does not exist, right? It's not here. You're not supposed to be here, and he isn't supposed to know anything about this ship. Those were my assurances.
We wouldn't.
I understand your concern, General.
Bel Iblis scoffed, unconvinced.
I need to see him. Something's wrong with me.
Is this a Force thing? Well, best place for the larvae is in the bowels. With him. At least down there, I know you can't stir up any more trouble. I'll speak with you once you're done. I'll arrange a meal. I'm not without sympathy. But once you've rested, you leave my ship.
The militia captain led the way down a sterile, brightly lit corridor. General Kota at his side, while Juno supported Starkiller, who leaned heavily on her arm. As they passed, Juno eyed the line of armed guards, mounted turrets, and repurposed battle droids lining the walls. It was a fortress within a ship, designed for one thing: containment. At the end of the hall, they stopped before a massive blast door. The captain gave a signal. With a slow and heavy whine, the massive door begins to open. The silhouettes of Kota, Starkiller, and Juno are cast forward, framed by the arsenal aimed towards the room. The darkness presses out towards the trio, thick, suffocating. Instinctively, Kota takes a half step back, unease prickling at his senses. With a silent nod from the captain to Juno, they move forward into the void.
You returned, as I expected.
Suspended in mid-air within a humming Geonosian energy field, hung Darth Vader. Beside the energy shield sat a large transparent steel box containing Vader's severed limbs. Lord Vader remained unfazed. Starkiller, however, was shaken. His breath hitched. He looked at Kota, then Juno, then back at the figure in the light.
This is what they must do to feel powerful.
You owe me answers. I've been sensing tremors in the Force. Something beckoning me. Like an echo. What is it?
A desperate hope. The lingering memory from your former self.
Tell me now.
A hunched-over Starkiller stepped forward and immediately faltered. He glanced down at his hands, unsteady. Clenching his fists, he straightened, stood taller. In that moment, he realized he felt better, almost stronger.
Careful, boy. Don't get too close.
Suddenly, Juno stepped in and pulled Starkiller back. The sound around them snapped back into clarity.
What happened? Felt like I lost the Force.
It appears that General Kota is also keeping things from you. I'm disappointed, my apprentice. If you were mindful, you would have felt it.
Vader turned his head slightly toward an unassuming metallic cylinder beside him. Inside, something moved. A creature, its form obscured. Starkiller stared at it, his unease growing, then turned slowly toward Kota.
It's something that keeps him restrained.
What is it?
A creature that manipulates the Force opposite to how we do. It renders him powerless.
You were always a coward, General.
Smarter than you.
Did you know about this?
No, I don't know what that thing is. I don't even know what happened to you.
Captain Eclipse, the Imperial war hero of Chaos, reduced to a caregiver.
She pulled Starkiller protectively closer,
As long as you live, he will remain bound to me. And as long as he lives, you will never be safe.
He shifted his gaze to Starkiller.
The Emperor has likely sent your replacement to find me and destroy you. That is what you are feeling.
You're lying.
You sense it. An echo of yourself in the Force.
He is speaking in riddles to confuse you, boy.
You are a clone, and a failing one at that.
I am Galen Merrick.
No. Galen Marek is dead. Starkiller died by my hand, just as you will. It is your destiny.
Flashes of memory tear through Starkiller's mind. Juno in danger. Himself locked in combat with Vader. The pain of dying. Again and again. Vader's torture, his death, repeating, an overwhelming intensity seized him.
This is all you are. Empty hate. That's all you've ever been. You told me hate makes you powerful. Where did it take you?
You never change.
Neither did you. Not once.
The trio turn away from Vader, stepping toward the now open doorway.
When they come, and they will, you will have to make a choice. I hope for your sake you choose wisely.
In the emptiness of space, an Imperial cruiser drifted silently. On its command deck, the Dark Apprentice stood at the viewing port, staring into the void. His face, partially hidden from the crew, twitched, a flicker of mania twisting across it. He tensed, struggling to suppress it. Looking down, he saw his hands trembling. A pained grin crept across his face.
We have a transmission for you, Lord, sir.
The Dark Apprentice turned, the flicker of madness vanishing behind cold control. He stalked to the holoscreen. A grainy image of Boba Fett appeared.
Report.
They're in the Delumbian sector. Anything else costs double now.
Your service.
Fett cut out the transmission before he could finish. The Dark Apprentice seethed. Tiny arcs of lightning snapped across his fingertips. The bridge crew silently averted their eyes, pretending to be busy.
Set a course for the Delumbian sector.
Starkiller stops and stands before Vader, hands shaking. He turns towards the cylinder with the creature in. He looks at his shaking hands and takes another step forward. We see the transparasteel box is gone. Starkiller steps towards the creature, shudders, and his hands stop shaking. He stands up straight, clear and focused.
Welcome back, my apprentice.
What is happening to me? Tell me.
You were created as a weapon of the Force, an experiment, focused and enhanced, yet unbalanced.
No.
Step away from the creature, and you will see.
Starkiller looked at Vader with distrust, then cautiously stepped away from the containment cylinder. A crushing wave of energy hit him. He staggered, breath catching in his throat, struggling to stay upright.
If you do not embrace the Force, you will die. The Force itself will drive you insane. Join me, and as the weapon you are meant to be, we will fulfill your true purpose.
Desperation swept over Starkiller. Then he steadied himself, eyes returning to the cylinder.
That thing. That creature cuts me off from the Force. I could live a normal life with that.
Only with the Force can you.
I'll take that as a yes.
Starkiller stepped toward the cylinder. Suddenly, a deep rumble shook the ship, followed by a violent shudder. Everything trembled around him. A second louder quake rolled through the chamber. The metal groaned. The walls shivered. He looked up. Vader was already staring at him.
It does not matter now. You are out of time. He has found you.
Who has found me?
You have.
The Holt's hangar bay erupted in chaos. Alarms wailing, smoke choking the air. Militia and rebels flooded in, exchanging blaster fire with stormtroopers and terror troopers. The Dark Apprentice descended from his shuttle into the carnage, a twisted grin on his face. He surveyed the battle as if it were a game. With a flick of his hands, crates, drawers, and debris hurled through the air, slamming into rebel fighters. Blaster bolts screamed toward him. He deflected them effortlessly, barely glancing. He dashed forward, saber ignited, cutting down everything in his path.
Most likely, he has come to destroy us both.
Juno stormed into the hangar, flanked by a squad of heavy guards. She froze for a heartbeat, her eyes locking onto the figure cutting down rebels with terrifying ease. The movements, the stance. It looked like Galen. No, her gut twisted. It wasn't him. It couldn't be. This was another clone. Snapping back to reality, she raised her hand and shouted. The Dark Apprentice spotted Juno. His eyes widened with mock affection. He reached toward her dramatically, as if pining for her. Then, his expression twisted. His hand snapped open and hurled a crackling orb of lightning in her direction. She and her guards scattered. With a manic grin, the apprentice reached out with the Force and gripped her mid-air. He began to pull her toward him slowly, turning her into place, spinning her, shifting her up, down, side to side, as if to admire her from every angle. His smile remained soft, until his eyes burned with rage. He spread his fingers. Juno's body snapped stiff, limbs stretched unnaturally. She screamed, the agony clear as if her body were being torn apart.
Boy!
The apprentice froze and turns in the direction of the voice. He stared with hate at the Jedi General. Instantly forgetting about Juno, he dropped her to the ground. The old master walked in and ignited his saber, illuminating himself in a bright green glow.
You've had your fun, boy.
The apprentice lunged at Kota. The old Jedi parried the Sith, never directly striking him, just deflecting his ever wilder strikes. Kota leaped to the defense of everyone. He protects the rebels, Juno, and Imperials from the manic furious attacks of the apprentices. We glimpsed the Kota of old, in his Jedi glory. For a time, he matched the fury and rage of the apprentice.
You're just the Empire's pawn, boy. Vader's puppet.
I'm better than him. Stronger than him.
You're just an errand boy.
Kota could not hold back the apprentice. With a solid deflection, he jabbed his saber at the apprentice's face. He screamed in rage, grabbing his injured jaw. A burst of rage-fueled force blasted Kota into a strut, where he crumpled to the ground and groaned. A bloodied Kota looked up towards the doorway. He saw Starkiller in front of Vader's cell as Starkiller turned and ran towards him.
No!
The Dark Apprentice frowns at the strange sight, and then laughing, lets out a huge burst of lightning towards both Starkiller and his master Darth Vader. The lightning dissipates into nothing and does not reach them. The Dark Apprentice tilts his head in confusion, and then doubles down, pouring more and more lightning towards them. It crackles all around Starkiller and Vader, until he is spent and stands panting with his hands outstretched.
You have to make a choice, apprentice. Together, we can beat him.
Starkiller looks at Vader, and then to the crumpled form of Kota. Kota reacts as if he had heard Vader and responds.
You need to get him out of here.
Letting out a guttural snarl, the Dark Apprentice stomps towards Starkiller and his master. He grasps objects in the Force and hurls them, throwing them at the pair.
Down and left.
Starkiller, following Vader's instructions, drops and moves as boxes and metallic debris fly over the top of them. Kota's body was broken. Each breath felt like fire in his lungs. But with every inhale, the Force embraced him. There is no emotion. There is peace. There is no ignorance. There is knowledge. There is no passion. There is serenity. There is no chaos. There is harmony. There is no death. There is the Force. Jedi Master Kota stood, unbroken and composed.
You couldn't finish the fight above Nar Shaddaa, and you can't finish it now.
The Dark Apprentice halted, as if struck by a wall. He slowly turned toward Kota, his face a mixture of awe, rage, and confusion. How could he still be standing? Kota, once again in a fighting stance, drew him in. The Dark Apprentice charged blindly. Kota leapt up and over, bringing his saber down, not for a killing strike, but to buy time. He knew he could not win the duel. The apprentice parried the slashing green blade and pivoted behind the old warrior, skewering him on the red blade with a backward thrust.
Run!
With a flourish of his green blade, the old master twisted. The apprentice's saber arm flew off at the elbow, spiraling into the air, its red blade retracting mid-spin. He stared, stunned at the stump where his right arm had been, then let out a furious Force scream. Kota twirled his blade into a final salute towards Starkiller, just before the blast struck him, slamming him into the strut once more like a broken doll.
No!
Impressive. Most impressive.
A set of doors burst open.
Help him. Get Vader to the shuttle.
Garm Bel Iblis pushed through in a hail of heavy blaster fire. The final remnants of Kota's militia stormed the corridor, cutting down stormtroopers and clearing a path for a hover sled carrying a transpersonal box containing Vader's severed limbs. Bel Iblis moved between the heavy gunners, firing his Westar 34, selecting each shot with the precision of a marksman, his aim calm and deliberate, modestly sharp like Yusef Dikep. They broke the tide. Juno, dazed but rises to her feet, seeing Starkiller on his knees, burdened by the crushing weight of Vader's body, and the Ysalamar containment cylinder, and Kota crumpled against a pillar. Starkiller kneels before his old mentor and friend.
I'm sorry. It looks like this is our last mission.
For what? No. We can get out of here.
Not me, my boy.
I was wrong about you. Better yet, I'm proud of you.
Kota looked towards Vader. Vader's dark eyes faced about.
This was meant for you.
Kota pulled out an unarmed thermal detonator and smiled.
If there is good people like you, this rebellion will be victorious. I'm proud of...
His eyes glazed over as he stared into the distance. Ram Kota, General of the Rebel Alliance, had passed on. The rebels began moving the transperistyle box towards the ship, but stopped, frozen in stunned horror, as the Dark Apprentice rose to his feet. His body was pockmarked with blaster burns, smoke trailing from charred wounds. His eyes blazed with yellow fury. He raised his severed stump, and red lightning erupted from it. Lashing towards Starkiller, only to fizzle and dissipate before reaching him. Starkiller flinched from the searing brightness of the blast, and when he opened his eyes, Kota was gone. Only his cloak, his lightsaber, and the thermal detonator remained where he had lain.
Leave the creature, and together we can defeat him. Now.
I'll never join you.
It appears that you have no choice.
Okay, cliffhanger.
Yeah. Well, what'd you think of that?
Honestly, that was pretty respectful. I'm guessing the Star Killer is another clone. Like, I'm wondering if it's similar to that theory of like the Old Republic one, where they had like and mind you, not everybody's a fan of this particular piece of lore, but in the Old Republic, they split Revan in two between his light and dark, and I think there was a similar one with Vitiate, or maybe that's just the bodies he switched between. But the idea that like there's more than one of you and like more than one part of you in the Force, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So it could be just a dark side clone. That's why he feels torn and split.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like I also did like the utilization of Issa Lamari.
Yeah, that was cool. I wasn't expecting that.
Well, I mean, like it doesn't surprise me in the least, considering you know they need a way to hold Vader, and that's like, and we know at least to some degree that Garm Bel Iblis knew about it because he knew about it in the Thrawn trilogy.
Yeah.
He bought, if I recall correctly, he bought like a ship or two from Talon Card, with like some of the stuff he found for the Katana fleet, or maybe it was just thinking of like the parts of the ship that he found.
Yeah.
Again, it's been a bit since I read the Thrawn trilogy, so
it's been.
I don't remember the exact. I don't remember the exact detail, but I know that there was some level of involvement there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it looked interesting. Felt like an audiobook or an audio drama, which I always appreciate those.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely has that feeling. I wonder how many parts there's going to be.
Something like this, there's probably going to be at least like 5 or 6.
Okay.
Maybe more, just depending on how long they stretch this out.
Mm-hmm.
I do like the flow of it so far. Like, obviously, if this were a video game, it would have flowed a lot differently. Like there would have been action and battle like right off
Yeah.
the bat, not like a big over the top cutscene,
Yeah.
which most of the first act of this seemed to feel like. And I'm not saying over the top in a bad way, because again, I met Everest in 2025 at Legacy Expo.
Mm-hmm.
He actually hooked up one of his productions on his. I'm not sure if it was on his phone or his YouTube channel, but he hooked up his phone to my dad's pill when we went to the con, because we were walking around playing like Star Wars music and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he broadcasted one of the productions while we were in line. I think for James Lucino.
Oh, okay.
So that was pretty fun. And we just kind of walked around and chilled at the con a bit. But yeah, like I met Everest. He's a pretty cool dude, and I can tell just by the way he worked on this that he did a good job. Did a lot of hard work on this. I like the implementation of like the sound effects and the music at certain cues.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm hoping he can do more. I'm hoping to see this on some of even though they're not the biggest on fan fiction stuff. I'm hoping to see more of this. Like I don't mind fan fiction so long as it's like very lore related. I don't see any reason to like cut it out of like anybody's expanded universe go through.
Yeah.
Especially like, and if the rest of this is solid, then I see no issue to add this as like, because this, again, to many the EU is no longer canon because Lucasfilm, official licensing crap. But yeah, like, but I see no reason not to implement this because it seems very very lore oriented and very well done.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm hoping to see it pop up on like other people's YouTube channels to sort of like give it necessary support.
Yeah, because it's worth a watch, especially if you like Force Unleashed.
Yeah, I mean, like I have one issue with Force Unleashed because of a continuity error it created, but beyond that, I think it's great.
Oh, what's the issue?
I mean, do you really want me to get technical about it?
Sure, go ahead.
So, in the Force Unleashed, and this is like as well as in the Force Unleashed 2. So, when they signed the treaty for the Rebel Alliance at Corellia, Garm Bel Iblis was not a part of the Alliance from the start.
Yeah.
There's a really old short story that was by, I think Tim Zahn did it, but also Michael Stackpole did it, called Interlude at Darknell.
Yeah.
And in it, you get introduced to Garm Bel Iblis, who literally just had his family. Like he's not part of the rebellion by this point. And this short story is supposed to take place like a few months before the destruction of the Death Star. And by that point, the Death Star is very much a rumor to a guy like Garm Bel Iblis.
Yeah.
Yet, 2 years prior, he joined a Rebel Alliance.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll check in a minute. 2 years prior, he joined the Rebel Alliance and was even on board the Death Star. So he knows it exists. So how is it a rumor if it actually exists?
Yeah.
That's what I mean by like continuity errors, and like even as far as the Essential Reader's Companion, it goes out of its way to mention that this is an error that was created and never solved.
Oh, okay.
Nobody likes me to bring it up because when I bring up a continuity error, it's always a problem. But it's typically for the expanded universe narrative, like most of the continuity errors have been cleared up, unless we're talking about like the Dave Filoni Clone Wars one. But
yeah,
that's a whole barrel of monkeys I don't want to get into right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Have you
see no
seen-
reason. I see no reason not to check this out. Obviously,
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely worthwhile. Have you seen his Darth Plagueis stuff?
I've seen a little bit of it. I think Scran, Star Wars Scran, did a little bit on it before that because he watched a little bit of it. But I've seen a bit of it, and from what I've seen, I liked it's very early, like similar to you ever played the old Jedi Outcast, Jedi Academy games?
Yeah.
It's very similar to that animation, which I've got no issue with.
Yeah.
Hold on one sec.
All right.
But yeah, that's
yeah. Anything else you want to mention about the Force Unleashed 3?
I mean, that was Coda's death right there, wasn't it?
Yeah. He faded into the Force.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
But by the way the narrator was telling, but I'm like, this could just be a fake out because there have been stuff. There's been stuff like that. Like I don't know if you've ever read the Jedi Academy trilogy, but when Admiral Akbar ejects Leia from his ship before he crashes into that crystal cathedral.
Yeah.
He's like, it seems very much like the opening of the book is going to kill him off, but he survives. But because sometimes you get that level of fake out, and you're not sure if the character made it, but then they show up later with like a severe bad injury, and you're like, oh well, okay, he's still alive, thankfully.
Yeah.
But in some cases, you don't get the he made it. Like for example, Crix Madine's death in Darksaber.
Yeah.
You think he's going to make it out, but then he gets shot and he goes down. And you're like, I guess they couldn't save him in time.
He's one of the few characters that died in the Bantam era. That's like a fairly major character from the movies.
Yeah, well, most of the characters that die end up dying in NJO. And even when I finished Rebel Stand recently, it seemed like very much that Wedge wasn't going to make it this time around.
Yeah, yeah. I thought maybe
so that
he
was,
would.
Yeah, so that was like the when I was finishing up that was like the closest to like major stakes in that book that I'm like, oh, well, he might not make it. Well, this is going to suck if he doesn't.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was pretty good. Hopefully the next part comes out, soon.
Yeah, hopefully. One thing I know Everest, he works hard on this stuff, so like it'll come out when it comes out.
Yeah. I think he did a post, I don't know, a few days ago saying that I think the next couple parts should be coming soon. But yep. All right. Well, that was pretty fun. And so do another one of these live streams when part 2 comes, and part 3, and so on and so forth. So
yeah.
Let's see. Anything else that comes to mind? Oh, one thing. You know how Juno was calling him Starman in the...
Yeah, that made me raise my eyebrow a little bit.
That's not in the books or the games. Is that in the comics? Is that...
No. And fun fact, when it comes to the comics, the Force Unleashed, the first comic book, is very much just a retelling of the novel. But the second one, the Force Unleashed 2 comic book, is actually the events of the book and game from Boba Fett's perspective.
Oh.
And I mean, like, it's
cool.
It's primarily like you get kind of that in like the Shadows of the Empire comic book, but it's the comic for Shadows of the Empire is still very well rounded to the other characters. This one is very much Boba Fett and his current partner at the time.
Okay, that's cool. I really enjoyed the Force Unleashed 2 book. Not a big fan on the game.
Yeah, the game Star Killer sounds a bit like an angsty teenager.
Yeah, and it's also like really short.
Yeah, the book is a reasonable length. It's not,
Yeah,
it's not super duper short, but
Yeah.
it's a good length.
and I enjoyed the Juno stuff that book had. That was
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
I love the Juno stuff. I love the arguments of the Alliance High Council, the stuff
Mhm.
like the arguing between Mon Mothma and Bel Iblis.
Yeah, that's good stuff. All right, well, that was fun. You interested in popping on when the next one comes on?
Oh,
Watch it
absolutely.
live?
Just send the link. So long as I'm like not in the middle of work or something, I
Yeah.
see no issue with it.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah. Well, all right. There will be links to that in the description, so you can go watch it if you want to. Yeah. As well as this Saturday, I will be on Nazo's channel discussing Rebel Dream and Rebel Stand from the New Jedi Order books with
Yeah, I took a little break from Rebel Stand, but came back to it and finished it. So we're all good. And Alex is going to be on, and Yanis again, and Alex is really excited to talk, not to talk about this one, but to talk about the next one because the next one is Traitor and it's one of his favorites.
Yeah. All right. Well, look forward to that. Thank you for popping on, Nazo, and chatting for a bit.
Yeah.
Do you want to do any shout outs to your channel or any social media before you
Obviously,
go?
shout out to you. Subscribe to Walrus here. Shout out to Magneto Alex. And of course, shout out to the goat Matt Wilkins. But
okay.
there's a barrel full of expanded universe channels you can always check out. I recently found one. I gave a shout out on one of my community posts called "The Expanded Universe Lives Forever," and it's this girl that does live reads of the books, I guess, or rather her own just her own narrations of it, and that's something I think we should encourage more people just like reading. Because I know everybody's got like a stint up their butt about like having like an AI voice read. So like, it's nice that there's someone, some like individuals reading it as well. So, so yeah, definitely give her channel a shot.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything else you want to plug? Your channel, maybe?
I guess I could plug my channel. I talk about it when I talk about it because I talk about some EU stuff, but I also talk about Mass Effect stuff, and I really need to get back to making videos at some point because there's some more Mass Effect videos I need to make. Another EU video or two I need to make, but other than that, if I would appreciate it if anybody wants to check out my content, everybody likes what they see there. If anybody wants to subscribe, I would appreciate it.
Yeah. All right. Well, with that, thank you for everyone who watched, showed up, and we'll see you next time.
Later, y'all.